Looks good. Okay. So hopefully I can get these videos in sync with the audio and the video that I'm doing, all this crazy stuff. But right now I'm on the OBS homepage. Then it brings up, hey, which version of, which operating system are you on? I just happen to be on a Mac at the moment. So then I click that and it downloads it for me. Pretty standard, kind of click, click, click through the whole thing type deal. So then you go ahead and do that. I already have mine installed, so I'm going to just fast forward, but go ahead and resume the video once you do get that installed. Slight caveat for those who are doing this on their work computer, which is odd because the work computers don't have a webcam, but if you are, and say you're doing like a poll, which is something you can definitely do without a webcam, if you're doing that, then you might have to bake the IT guys some cookies, or just get in good terms with them so that they can give you admin rights, or that they can download the software for you because of because corporate. So imagining that we have it downloaded on your laptop or work computer. We're going to go ahead and open this bad boy up, and this is probably what you'll see. Actually, if I remember right, it'd probably be like this with the whole scene 1 thing going on. And that's cool, it's a beginner start, but we can do better. So let's go ahead and play around with it. This main screen that you see right here, this is essentially your, think of it as your development screen. This isn't what your viewers are going to be seeing. They're going to be seeing everything that you put on your actual production screen. So if we go down to studio mode, which is right here, click on that, we can go ahead and add our sources. And so we're on scene 1, and I'm on my laptop, so I'm just going to go ahead and rename this scene so that it's more clear to me what I'm doing. I'm going to name this one me, and bam, we got our development side and we get our previews, or our production side. So now that I have this scene that I just renamed to me, I'm going to go ahead and add a new source. And just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here's all the different scenes that you can add in here. So audio, if you just want to do audio. Browser, we'll come back to that one. That's an important one. Display is another good one if you want to get all crazy and mirror your display. And then we have video down here, which I like to use just when I'm playing around with the webcam. So I'm going to want to click on this one just to show you guys what's going on here. And you can rename it if you want to like webcam. Like, cool. And it's like, hey, what device do you want to use? Let's go and use my built-in. And there I am. So I kind of pop up there, which is, kind of cool. And if I wanted to show this on a production side, then you just hit the transition button. And this is what your viewers would be seeing on this side. So that's a good start, right? We're at a good place, and we can kind of do things with that, but we can do better. So let's say you want to show some HTML, and you created this basically web page, and you want to show that to your users. Well, there's a way to do that as well, and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to hop into my terminal, and just to bump this bad boy up so you guys can see it. I'm in my terminal. I'm already CD'd into my desktop. For those of you not familiar with the terminal, I guess this is just like adding a folder and navigating your computer through Finder or folders, whatever you guys use. So I'm on my desktop, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a directory called, let's stop you, you're confusing me, and you're scary. Okay. So what is all this? Okay. So I'm gonna make a directory, and I'm gonna call it test FB. And once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. Cool. Now that I'm in this folder on my desktop, I'm just gonna go and create a simple web page, index.html, and I'm using Atom for my text editor. Feel free to use Notepad++. I just happen to like Atom. Again, I got that because I'm good with the IT guys, and I was like, hey, I can't function without syntax highlighting, and a dark theme. And they're like, cool, I got you. All right, so now I'm just opening up that file in my text editor that's just loading up for us. And what we're essentially going to do is create this HTML page. And we want to show that to our Facebook Live audience. So now that I have this up, one of the things I love about Atom is that you can just type in HTML and bam, there you go. And I'm going to just say, put this in a quick div. And let's go ahead and say, hello from the QC Times. Cool. Got it. So now that this is saving, come on, blue dot. Okay. We're going to head back into OBS. And once we're here, we can add a scene, and we'll name it HTML. You can name it whatever you want, again. And we're going to go ahead and hit browser source. So browser source will initially capture the browser, right? Like right here, it's saying, hey, we're loading up OBS. But instead, I want to be like, hey, load up a local file. So it does that, and it's saying, well, tell me where the local file you want to load up is at. So there, it's loading up OBS, and then soon it'll pop up. There we go. Just a place where we can get this stuff. I like how Apple is like, hey, if you pay me a bunch of money, you'll get the latest computer with a crappy webcam, and 3 years down the line, we'll just start to lag you, so you can get a new one. Coffee break. Oh, that's good. Okay. There's our index.html. We're looking great. I'm going to go and open this bad boy up. Once we do, we're just going to hit OK, and voila. And you might be wondering, like, hey, where's the HTML? Where's the Quad City Times? What are you doing, Michael? Start yelling at me, things go crazy. First off, calm down. By default, the text that shows up is black, and we are on a black background. So let's hop into our HTML, and you could do something like add a simple style, right? And we're just gonna say color, which is a CSS property, and we're gonna say it's red. Cool, we're gonna save that, hop back into OBS, and we wanna double click on browser source, do our local file, there you are. And if you scroll down, it's just tricky because you don't think there's anything down here because this fades away. But if you just scroll down, it's like hidden. And refresh cache of current page. So it's just going to go in and refresh everything. If you do that, just refresh, and you can kind of see it was already starting to load. Refresh, and then cancel. And it's like super, super small, right? So let's fix that. Because nobody can see that. So just to show as kind of a proof of concept, you can also load in CSS files. So we're going to create a new file, and let's just call it style.css. Cool. We're going to name that h1 tag. Let's give it a color of like my color, right? Super descriptive. And let's just say the color is going to be red. But the font size, we're going to go ahead and give that like 100 pixels, like really blow it up. Cool. We're going to take out this style tag, and we're going to say, where we at, ID equals my color, and obviously put in that link tag so that our CSS follows through. Good. Style, got it. So now we're going to do the same thing where we go into the double click on the browser source and scroll down and refresh. Awesome. Hello from the QC Times shows up. Refresh it, and there we go. So this is still our development side though. So how do we get that to show up on our production side? Well, simply enough, if you click transition, there you go. and that's going to be what your users see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here because I don't want these to get too long. I think 15 minutes is the last time that I checked of what people really like to see their video length as. But join me in the next video and I'll show you how to take this information and push it up to Facebook Live. So that way we have our development side, we have our production side, and we can also show that to our users through Facebook as well as other services. I'll see you guys then. Okay, so for those of you that were with me in the last video, just to bring everyone up to speed on where we're at, what I was doing last time, basically a development side, which you're seeing right here, and I'm showing that on our production side. Now, just to show you exactly what that means and how this all translates and comes together, is that if I add a new scene right here, and I say, I'm going to name it same, right? I can add the same exact content by going to browser source, and we can say, whoop, we're going to create a new one. Again, because I'm saying browser source, it's going to go ahead and pull up a URL. And this could be any URL, right? This could be google.com. It could be your own personal web page if you want to stream what's going on your website. It can also be a local file. Go back to our index page, load that up, and it loads it up. Great. Well, if I want to transition, so if I want to work on this one and just have this one always be our production side, if I want to work on this one, okay, I want to switch it from here to here, then click transition. That exact same thing is going to happen, and our users are going to see that. And that's how on Facebook Live videos, when you see those smooth transitions going back and forth and things like that, that's how they're doing it if they're using OBS. Now, I can also bring in more sources from here. So I don't have to have just one source, right? A scene can be comprised of many sources. So I'm going to go ahead and just to show you guys, let's do our good friend video capture. And I'm going to say that's fine. For the device, we're going to make it the built-in camera. I know, great quality. Cool. Well, they're overlapping, and I can show this to our audience if we want. Transition back and forth. That's cool. But what if I want to show both? Well, if you just shrink it, grab it by one of the handles, and bring it here, there you go. And then I'm going to transition this, and that'll transition. And this is sort of how you can have a picture-in-picture effect as you're still showing your content. It's pretty cool. That's great, but we haven't touched on how to get this pushed up to Facebook. And a lot of you were saying, well, you need an API key, you need to really get into the documentation, things like that. If you're pulling in specific information, you're absolutely right. If you're just doing something as far as showing content to your users and not pulling in any feedback from those users, OBS makes it very, very simple to do so. And I'll show you that right here. So let's go to, open a new tab. We're going to go to facebook.com and oh, that's going to be awesome. Oh, I can't wait. You ever hop on a Facebook to do something and then like 20 minutes go by and you realize you're just scrolling? Okay. So I'm on the our Facebook page, the Quad City Times. I'm going to go ahead and head down to videos. Yours might be laid out differently, however you do it, no big deal. Once you click on videos, you just want to click on video library. And from here, you see the live tab right here at the top. We're going to click on this, and this is where you get all of your information. So as you can see, we have our server or stream URL, server URL, stream key. You don't have to know really what any of this stuff means. You just need to know that they exist. Something to keep in mind though, and this is very, very important. You want to keep this stream key secret, just like Facebook says. Anybody can use this. At the time of this recording, if I was doing this live, then anyone could take this stream key right here, and while I was recording the video, if I hadn't already started the stream, you could also be streaming. You could basically take that and stream onto your site to my page. So it's very important that you keep that secure. It's valid for a week, and once you preview the video, you have 5 hours to go live. After 5 hours, it expires, a new key gets generated, and also every time that you load up this page, a new key will be generated. So they try their best to keep it safe. It's really up to you to keep it private. There we go. But for our case, I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this. And I'm not going to click next. I'm going to hold off on that. Right now, I'm just copying this stream key to the clipboard. I'm going to hold back or go back into OBS. So now we have our development side, our production side of what our users are going to see. And you see start streaming, start recording, studio mode, which we're in. So if I click out of that, there we go. And settings. I'm going to click on settings. I'm going to ignore all of these tabs, and I'll let you guys dive into those as you see fit. But I'm going to go ahead and go to stream. Now, your defaults might be different than mine, but the essential thing is that you want to click on streaming services. And again, if you're streaming from another service outside of Facebook or YouTube, then you can do a custom server if you want. But for us, we're going to do streaming services. And here are all of the ones that they support out of the box. So you downloaded OBS, you want to get started. These are the ones that it makes it really easy to integrate into. Twitch, YouTube, never heard of Hitbox or Beam. Dailymotion is pretty cool. And then Facebook Live right down here. Click on that one. Keep the server default the same. I don't think you can change it actually. Yeah. And we just want to paste in that server key. There we go, just to make sure it's the same. Yeah, looks good. And click OK. Cool, so it has the key saved. Now if we start streaming, and how this is all working for those not exactly familiar with it. So you click start streaming here, it's not pushing it to Facebook on the spot. You have to do that on Facebook side. So we have our development side again, production side. We click start streaming, and it's basically, think of it as like sending all the data through. So it's sending all the data, and until we click on Facebook, Facebook's not going to show that data. So Facebook is receiving it now, it's just not doing anything with it. So let's change that. Right now it's receiving the data. We're going to click on next. And it's fetching your actual stream. So that connection is made. And it's going to say offline. It should trigger again though. Let's just give it a second. There we go. So it's fetching again. It notices that something is there. And if we have any luck, it should show up, and bam. Hello from the QC Times. So not the best looking example, but hopefully it's a good enough proof of concept to show you that this is working. Just to show you as far as lag and how that all plays into one another, I'm going to go ahead and shrink this so that they're kind of side by side. There. And don't disappear on me. How about you just come over here? What if I exit studio mode? Okay. Cool, so I have these two side by side. This one is hello from the QC Times. On Facebook, hello from the QC Times, what our viewers see. If I go ahead and switch this so that it shows this one instead, there we go, it updates. But I like to keep things in studio mode, that way I'm not accidentally making changes. So hello from the QC Times shows up. I'm going to move it to a different spot. And I don't want our users to see me moving it or dragging it around, playing with things. I'm going to keep it right there, then transition. That way I control the flow of things. And then you notice it'll give it a second, it's updating, sending that information, and it transitions. So pretty cool. Hopefully this is a good starting spot for a lot of you to start implementing this with your own Facebook projects. If you're wondering how to get the live content to show up, remember this is kind of me right here on my webcam. This could very easily be, and I'm going to transition that so that it shows up. This could very easily be me, not through a webcam, but through a USB powered device. So you take a professional video camera, you plug it in via USB or HDMI, and then you're showing up that way. It's essentially the only way to do it if you're using OBS software because it integrates so well. But if you guys have any questions, there's a lot that I didn't cover. There's a lot that I don't know. But this is what I've been using to get more professional looking Facebook Live videos going on, as opposed to, again, the shaky camera. It's great. I'll be doing a couple more videos. I hope to make this a series, and I'll show you guys how to pull in stuff like user-generated content, such as likes, and you can have those live polls that I think you guys have seen in other videos. But let me know what your thoughts, where you'd like me to head with this, and I'll be sure to check them out. Thanks.